Oh.
Yeah, he's right there. I just pretend all the lyrics are Kratos.
Yes.
It works.
Gives me goosebumps.
All right, welcome back to Birds and Swords. Back in the studio finally. A little bit of a hiatus for us. We did some summer traveling, partying, birthday, and whatever we did. Hung out in the forest, right?
Yeah.
Some of that stuff. But good to be back. That opening's God of War. We're going to talk about some upcoming games. We didn't have an E3 this year, but we definitely got, game announcements. Square Enix just did their reveal a few days ago. It took all of 10 minutes, I think. Did you watch it?
No.
Okay. But, so the developers and publishers are putting out a ton of info during the summer here to get prepped for the holiday. So we're excited about a lot of things, so we're going to talk about all that good stuff today. We got Alyssa. Hey, Alyssa.
Woo, hello.
And then we got Zack back in studio. What's up,
What
man?
up?
Good to have you back.
Good to be back.
And you guys are excited for stuff?
Oh,
Excited
yeah.
for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, we compiled a list, and it was even longer than I thought it was, of just stuff that's either been announced or updated with a date, that kind of stuff, just in the last month, 6 weeks, something like that. I did some research on. So we're going to dive into some of that. Definitely excited about a lot of things coming up. So we heard the God of War theme is what we opened with there. That's actually from God of War 3. What's your favorite God of War?
Oh, man. I would honestly say the newest one.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
With
It's
God of War.
fantastic.
I mean, they're all fluid, especially for what systems the first ones were created on.
Mm-hmm.
But the newest one is just such a groundbreaking.
That's how
Yeah.
every game feels to me for God of War. I got into the series when I was very young. I was like 10, just slaughtering these Olympians.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved God of War. Every game that came out just blew my mind one after another. So I have extremely high expectations for this next game.
So do you connect to Kratos? Because you're a young woman, right? Especially then.
Yeah.
You've got the total opposite of, real masculine, shirts off, ripping demons
Right.
apart. So why do you think you connected with that stuff?
Violence, mostly.
Yeah, and it delivers.
It's so brutal and unforgiving. I mean, just even the puzzles you have to use, like people to put him in gears and stop the thing from turning so that his leg gets stuck and he's bleeding and crying not to put him there. And it's like everything in those games. Kratos doesn't give a fuck about anybody.
And everything's hard.
Yeah.
Especially in the early games, you got to open a chest. Well, you better
Oh my
mash
God.
that button
Yeah.
a million times a second just to get a health orb.
I
Yup.
thought I was good at quick tapping until I played those games, and I'm like, why is it so hard to open this chest?
I know.
Yeah.
It makes you work for everything.
Yeah.
But it shows that on screen, I think, because he's really struggling to get it open. Anyway, so coming off the last one, which we'll just call God of War, PS4. So Ragnarok, release date of 11/9. We just got that info. Was that last week? I think just last week, Sony Santa Monica dropped that. I was worried that it wasn't going to come out this year, and I think a lot of people were.
Yeah.
So to get that November date right there before the holiday is super exciting. So where do you think the series is going to go? November 9th.
I don't know a lot about what is this Norse mythology.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I know that they're going to be putting Thor in it. Clearly, the collector's edition comes with his hammer, so
Yeah.
that's pretty sick. I hope you get his hammer. I mean, I don't know where they're going to take it. The boy is growing up a little bit. He's starting to go through some puberty. I can tell.
Yeah, that was a very noticeable thing in the trailer that I
Yeah.
really didn't think about ahead of time.
Yeah,
That they just kind of scaled him the way his voice actor aged, I think.
Mhm.
I don't think there's effects on it or anything. But I didn't think about that. And then they showed the trailer and I was like, oh, he's kind of like a teen now. And I bet he can do way more stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love Norse mythology, so I mean, the first one I was just so excited to see where they take it. Yeah, I'm just really excited to see how the story plays out.
And what new frightening, because in the trailer we see, and I hate killing dogs in games
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
even wolves. But it's this huge, and again, I don't know a ton about Norse mythology
Fenrir,
either.
probably.
Is that what it's called?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. huge wolf thing. Does it have a sword in its mouth? I don't even know. But they show that in the trailer, and it's epic, and God of War is definitely known for its huge, oversized bosses and stuff, so to see that was really cool.
It looks like a very relevant character, too, because it's on, like, the cover of the Steelbook, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it's going to be a boss you fight. It could be something kind of like the World Serpent that guides you, because it looks like there's a big wolf and a little wolf, which could be representation of, like, the father-son dynamic that we have in the games. I love this for us.
Yes. And I love the axe, too, from the first game.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
I was so skeptical. I was like, give me the Chaos Blades. I love them. I love the combos for them.
Leviathan X, right?
Yeah. Yep. And it was so smooth in the way he throws it and can bring it back.
That's so cool.
And with the shield, the combos were awesome.
Mm-hmm. It was a whole new way to play God of War, and it still be God of War.
Yeah.
I don't know how you balance all that stuff and still make it, the same kind of game.
The combat in that game was just revolutionary to me. I was really scared to play it because I just loved the original games, and they just changed so much, it felt like. But then I played it, and it felt like a God of War game, but better.
Yeah. Did you feel like it was too hard?
No. But because you could choose the difficulty, right? Because I just played on the normal difficulty. So
yeah, I did too.
Yeah. I didn't feel like it was too hard.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see where that goes. And is he going to call him boy? What's going on there? That's
teen.
Teen. 18. And without spoiling anything, the ending sets up 2 or 3 different things with the mother, who his son is, and all this other stuff. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to lead in and take off with this next one. So we're super excited for that one. That's probably my number 1 thing that I'm excited for. So leave me alone on November 9th.
Yes.
Okay.
Next one on the list is Bayonetta 3.
Bayonetta 3. I don't have a ton of experience with Bayonetta. I think I played the first one, Platinum Games rules. They're really known for fast-paced hack-and-slash action type of stuff. So did you play the first 2?
Yeah. And these games, I mean, even just based off the trailer of 3, they just keep getting gayer and gayer. I mean, we're introducing what looks like lesbian Dante in this one. But yeah, I played... the first one was my favorite of the 2. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. You're playing as this hot chick who uses her hair as a weapon. She somehow looks a little bit like Sarah Palin, which is weird. But
Sarah Palin vibes.
You'll never not see it now. Well, she's a little different now with the hair, so you can kind of look past
Sarah
it.
Palin goes punk pop.
Right. Yeah. And I just remember like the first game had this awesome weapon. It was figure skates. And you just danced around and attacked enemies. I'll never get over that.
Didn't she have like guns?
Yeah,
on
her heels. Yeah, everything about her.
Oh,
yeah,
they're back.
They're back. Yeah, everything about her is like just very sexy, and I love combos. Like I love like combo based games, and that was definitely great. The second game felt really lacking to me. It was only on the Wii U initially. I'm not sure if they ever released it.
It re-released on Switch.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't you?
I played it on the Switch, right? It was only released on Wii U and then Switch. It felt like rushed to me. Like none of the weapons felt like totally different from one another. The cutscenes felt like they just threw something together. The characters weren't that likable, in my opinion. The plot felt dry and forced.
Like the battle mechanics were like very similar no matter what weapon you used, which was weird.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but the game kind of felt cheap to me. I had a hard time finishing it, but it was Bayonetta. I still had fun. So hopefully the third one, it looks like they're going kind of back to their roots of the first game with this one. So I'm hoping like that, because just the battle mechanics and like the boss fights look so much bigger and crazier. There's like a train you can ride, and it looks like she might even have like almost what looks like Devil Trigger from like the Devil May Cry series, but for her.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're really taking it somewhere. So I'll probably give it a go, even though I was kind of disappointed in the second game.
And they probably know that.
Yeah.
Based on feedback, I'm sure they fixed some things.
True.
So Bayonetta 3 coming October 28th. Okay, and then time for my Persona.
Woo!
So we got Persona Atlas announced that Persona 3, 4, and 5 are going to get a reboot. Persona 5 Royal is going to come to Switch on October 21st. And then we're going to finally get Persona 3 and 4 on consoles, but they haven't set a date for those. Have you played? No, you've just played 5.
5 is
right?
the first one.
I've just played some of 4. I played it on Vita, believe it or not.
Nice.
Who had a Vita? I did for a little while.
Sorry.
It's awesome too. I don't know if it's quite where Persona 5 is, but
And this is 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played Persona 4 Golden, it almost seems like the characters are younger.
Is the Vita off market now?
Yeah.
It's been since like 2020,
Kibosh.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it's still functional. You can still access PlayStation Store and stuff like that, but they're not manufacturing those anymore. Or haven't for a while. But yeah, so the older Persona, I haven't played 3. I think you can access those through Steam. You can still play those on Steam. But finally getting those on console is going to be super fun to play through. But it is coming, Persona 5 Royal finally on the Switch on October 21st, and it's a perfect Switch game. Especially if you play handheld and stuff like that, turn-based stuff, just rocks and rolls on there.
True.
So that's going to be great. We got GoldenEye. We'll briefly cover this one for the OG gamers out there. GoldenEye 007 is coming back. Hard to find news on this because it is done by the Rare original developers, so it's an in-house thing. And apparently the game is finished. It got delayed because of some Ukraine stuff I read.
Oh, wow.
But apparently the game's done. It just needs published. So I don't know where that sits now, but that's coming. A lot of people are definitely excited to get a reboot of GoldenEye. We don't know platforms yet. I don't think anything's been super solidified other than this is a thing and it's going to sell, and it will.
If I had to guess, it's just going to be Switch.
So did you play
Switch and
GoldenEye?
PC.
You were a 64 kid, right?
Yeah, but I was late into the 64 era because I was the youngest brother, so it was kind of my oldest brother / family who had it. So by the time I got into GoldenEye, it was just people who played it for years, so I'd get smacked around.
Yeah.
Like, all right, yeah, 1v1, don't kill you any times. Love this game.
Yeah, it's like the original screen cheat game.
Yeah,
you know?
everyone beat like the little dude too. So I didn't understand why I was missing. It's like, oh, well, it's because the only guy that has a height advantage in the game.
Yeah. I'll cut that.
But I am pretty excited for GoldenEye. I'm definitely going to play it with people, probably not do any better than I did growing up, but still have a blast.
I could see that one like boom or bust. Like it's going to be awesome or it's going to be terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
I'm skeptically excited for it. Let's say that. I think a lot of people are kind of sitting there.
I'd second that.
So we'll see. Hopefully some more news coming up on that. Just 2 or 3 weeks ago, we got news on Last of Us Part 1 remake. This has gotten some mixed feedback online. That's coming September 2nd. So, Alyssa, you love Last of Us, right?
I do.
So how do you feel about because it's already been remade once,
twice,
or it's been
right?
remastered once?
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary, and I hope that they don't plan on charging full price because I'll probably pay it.
I think
But
they will.
yeah, I'll be buying it. I'll be playing it for the 10th time. Yep, I'm disappointed they're doing it, and yet super excited. So
The screens we've seen are pretty impressive.
it looks like they're aging the characters with the time that has passed. Like actually, it's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just them trying to be really great with the graphics and like showing like look what we can do now, and the characters just look more their age. But I don't know. It feels like they've aged a lot of the characters.
Yeah, this isn't totally out of the realm for Naughty Dog. We saw Uncharted get a full overhaul with its collection or whatever. So this isn't anything out of their ballpark or anything like that. But I will play it too. I'm kind of in the boat of wait till it's on sale. Or maybe it hits PlayStation Plus where I can play it for either free or discount or something. It's not something I'm going to go out and play day one.
Yeah.
As much as I love it, because I definitely do. I love both those games. You like the first one better, don't you?
I do.
I like the second one better, but that's just me.
I'll
They're
watch
both
Alyssa
amazing.
Play it.
Huh?
I said I'll watch Alyssa play it. That's probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't played either of them?
No, I have. I played the first one. I don't think I played the second one.
You haven't, no.
But I watched Alyssa play the second one, a lot of it. And I tried to avoid so many spoilers, but it was so good, and I just kept watching.
It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, really,
Like,
that game is spoiler
couldn't.
after spoiler because
Yeah.
everything, like, I mean, right off the bat, I won't say what
Yeah.
happens.
I'm
but-
gonna cry.
God. Yeah, like the whole game is just like every chapter is like, holy shit,
Yeah.
holy shit.
I would literally
my
hear
God.
her reaction and like look at the TV, and she's like, "No, don't look, it's a spoiler."
I'm like,
"Well,
I have like tears right down my
I'm
face. I was
3
like,
in
don't look at the TV right now.
Yeah, that game will tug at your heartstrings. One of my favorite, and I actually posted in the Facebook group like a month ago, one of my favorite video game scenes ever is that scene in the when they go to the museum in the second game.
Oh,
the spaceship.
That's such a good
Because there's
great.
always these moments, there's a couple moments in both games where it like tugs them back to way the world used to be when you didn't
Mhm.
have to worry about, everything that's going on in these real life moments. And that's definitely one of them. and the way they do it with music, and man.
Moving.
Yes. So we'll see. I'd like to see some feedback and stuff, I guess, before I play it. And like I said, I'll probably wait till it's free or discounted or something. Then let's go on to a game that was... Okay, so Skull and Bones was announced at E3 in 2017. So that's 5 years ago.
Wow. I first heard of it today when a commercial came up on my TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you missed the original announcement. It is an Ubisoft game. So that one's got a date of November, and it's a pirate thing. Zach, this is your jam, right? What do you know about Skull and Bones?
So I am now realizing, since you said that it is a game I've seen before or like heard about, and then I totally forgot about it because I haven't heard anything about it in recent years until the recent trailer they released that Alyssa and I just watched. And I couldn't guess if it was the new Assassin's Creed or Arc 2 or, Sea of Thieves just getting a rehaul
update. Yeah,
but it looks like it's going to put like Black Flag and Sea of Thieves. It's going to really give them a run for their money. It looks like it's going to be a massive game that's really fluid.
And Ubisoft is good at making big open world things.
Right.
They're AAA, so I think it'll probably be good. I did you dig into like why it got delayed?
No,
we saw the commercial when we were looking at like Final Fantasy information. It just like came up on YouTube and we were like, ooh. And I was like, what is this?
Don't skip it.
Yeah, Zach was like, this looks so interesting. And I was like, Ubisoft, it looks like they like miss Black Flag. And they were like, let's do that again, but bigger.
If I had to guess, maybe just Sea of Thieves, because Sea of Thieves did so well and its fan base is very
what are you guessing?
Loyal. Like why it got delayed so much.
Okay.
So they could have just seen that and been like, okay, well, we can't release it.
Oh, I gotcha.
Like,
maybe
right
it was
now,
too
because
samey.
Sea of Thieves would just crush us. So they probably realized that they need to step it up a little bit. Maybe they made it look cleaner, or maybe they added a little bit depth to it, because that was one of Sea of Thieves' initial problems, was that it was like, cool, I'm a pirate, but like, can I do more things? And then they added their quests, and they had their tall tales in the beginning, but...
And I think it was announced even before Sea of Thieves was announced.
Yeah.
And it's odd that, because Ubisoft, and we've seen some delays, like Far Cry got pushed back 4 months or whatever. Like, we've seen some delays from Ubisoft, but nothing like this.
Exactly.
So, and I think that's another boomer bust kind of situation, just because of the long delay. So we're going to go to break. We got a lot more games to talk about. Probably some of our favorites we'll save for this next segment. Zach, you want to send us to break?
Hold on to your butts. We'll be right back.
All right.
Hold it on.
This is Michaela Jade. I make video games, and you're listening to Birds and Swords.
The Vulgar Display of Podcast is a show about metal by metalheads. We do not discriminate. We share a love for any and all kinds of metal. Please do us a favor and like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share our content. We appreciate your help and support. For more information and content, check out at Vulgar Display of Podcast on Instagram and at Display Podcast on Twitter. The Vulgar Display of Podcast stays hydrated with Liquid Death, caffeinated with Black Bayou Coffee Roasters, and intoxicated with Zymergy Brewing Company.
All right, so welcome back. Let's dig into Final Fantasy, I guess, right? So we've got Alyssa panting in excitement. Final Fantasy VII, the remake. This one's called Rebirth. We don't have an exact date for it. All they said was this winter, unless you have something updated.
I don't.
Okay, so how excited are you?
I'm so excited. And right away, I'm so excited because the original game was fantastic. It was great. And the way that they did the remake to make it something new, but still nostalgic, I was really impressed with. I loved it. And I know a lot of people were disappointed in the fact that there was going to be a multi-game series, but I think that this is the right move because just in the first one, they've already expanded so much on Midgar, and now they can continue to do that. And I saw today that the development team was planning for two games, two separate releases, the first half and the second half, and just for financial reasons. And so they expected with the second half, this next one, Rebirth, that's going to be coming out, that they're going to have to like compress a lot and even change major plot points to make it go faster so that they can fit it all on one game. But the remake did so well that they're going to be able to make this possibly a 3-disc game. So the second, like, Rebirth is not the end. And I am so excited.
So
so the devs worked so efficiently. They basically, their whole projection for their financial analysis for the next 4 years shifted. So then they like rehauled Rebirth essentially to give it more depth.
So this is a 3-part remake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
we
knew that from the beginning?
Well, no, it was originally a 2-part. They
Okay.
wanted to do a 3-part, but they financially were like, we can't. We have to do a 2-part. And then after the first one was released, and like he said, the development team was working so efficiently on Rebirth, and also the first part of the remake did so well financially, like that they were like, fuck it, we can do 3. So we're getting what we want.
The creators slated for 4 pieces originally. And then someone from their financial team made a statement, and he's like, I cannot see this project getting past 2 games. And that was before...
What, are you scared of making money?
Right. I guess he just didn't think they would. So then after Remake, when it was ahead of production and they made so much more than they thought, like the revenue from 7 Remake was insane, that they were able to keep like the entire dev team too. So coming to Rebirth, they didn't have to like train new people or anything like that. It was just kind of like,
and they're using,
you guys work on this now.
And they're using a lot of the same assets, engine, stuff like that. We've seen bits of
character
gameplay.
models,
It looks the same, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
And some of the success of the first one, I think, could have been COVID related because that game dropped. Was it March? I want to say it was March 2020.
It was during
which
the height of COVID.
was when we thought we were all going to die.
Game.
Yeah.
Everyone was indoors for at least a week.
So that might have had a little bit to do with it, but I also agree. I loved the remake. I was all in. So I'm super, super stoked to play Rebirth.
And the fact that they're able to create the game that they want and keep like the plot points that we want to see redone again. But they did warn that they still are going to change certain aspects of the game. They said they can't just reproduce a game and make it look prettier because they're not going to get the funding that they want. Then it has to be something new.
They better kill Aerith still. You think they'll keep her alive?
Don't level Aerith. Yeah. Yeah, I am. I do hope that they keep that plot point. I want my heartstrings pulled at. Well, that was the thing with Crisis Core, which I'll just jump into it. Crisis Core, they were not planning on doing a remake for at all. They were like, actually, this game is obsolete. We're done with it. We're never going to touch it.
Yeah, they announced it like 3 different press releases throughout the years.
The remake did so good that they were like, okay, well, we could explore Cloud's past a little bit, but let's do something different. Like, what was different about it? Who's Zack, which is the protagonist of Crisis Core? Mm-hmm. And they were like, actually, like, let's just remake it. And I'm excited because Crisis Core is one of the best Final Fantasy games as far as plot, in my opinion. It's just so dark and sad and emotional. And Zack is one of the best Final Fantasy characters in the series. And it's Cloud's backstory of him essentially being in the military and how traumatizing it was for him.
So Crisis Core is a prequel
to everything.
To 7.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's a prequel to 7 about Cloud and his friend Zack. And they've also mentioned that this opened doors for possibilities for other games within the 7 franchise. They haven't mentioned that they're going to touch Dirge of Cerberus yet, which is, I believe, a sequel to the original 7 that follows Vincent.
And that was that was like a DS game?
It was
right?
PlayStation 2. Yeah, but it was a like third-person shooter, so it was like it didn't play like a normal Final Fantasy. Right. It wasn't turn-based or anything, but I thoroughly loved it. It was really creepy and dark and weird. And then they also have the movie Advent Children, which would be interesting to see if they do anything with that in the future. Right now, they said they have no intention because it takes place so far after the original Final Fantasy VII that they're not sure if they want to touch that yet. But I'm just pumped that it's doing so well and that we're just going to get so much more.
Yeah. And the Crisis Core announcement was out of absolutely nowhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And it's conveniently on like the 25th year anniversary of the game too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when it's coming out. And they said that wasn't planned. They were just like, we could do this. Should we do it? Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, that lines up, so we might as well go ahead and do
Meant
that.
to be.
Yeah, so a lot of people excited for those. And Crisis Core also just says this winter. Obviously, that can be anywhere from November through March, I guess.
Yeah.
Or through February into February. So we'll be seeing those soon. You know, a year from now, we will have played those. I wonder which one will come
We're
out first.
shipping them.
If we'll see Rebirth or Crisis Core
I feel like
first.
we'll see Crisis Core first.
Just to kind of break it up.
Yeah, because
Or how close
one of
together
the-
their releases will be.
Yeah.
One of the reasons they said they decided to make Crisis Core was because that, I mean, Alyssa kind of touched on it, but they said that Zack was getting such a deeper role and they really wanted them to connect with him more.
The players, yeah.
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 So I feel like Crisis Core would
Yeah.
drop first.
That's a good point.
Because they want to lead up to
Yeah.
seeing him in
Yeah, so
Rebirth.
maybe we see Crisis Core in November or December, and then we see a late winter for Rebirth.
It's very
be
important
my
to me
guess.
that everybody plays this game. It's very important to me. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Everybody
Play
play
Cri-
it. Get back to
Play
Alyssa.
Crisis Core, don't talk to me.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see those this winter. I'm very excited for those too. I bet, most everybody listening, totally stoked for those.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on to another totally stoked. This news just dropped a couple weeks ago too that Lollipop Chainsaw is getting a remaster. I think it's full remake. I do know that Suda51 is not involved, but like some original producers are, so there's still in-house people that worked on the original game doing the remake. So what do we think about this one? I love Lollipop Chainsaw.
Same. Oh, God. It's so good. I'm
Kind of a
pumped.
cult following
Yeah.
type of thing. I don't think it was super mainstream just because how goofy it looks. 'Cause
Yeah.
he plays a cheerleader that has a chainsaw, and there's a zombie invasion.
Yeah. That's pretty
And-
much it.
And that's
And
about
that's
it.
the game. And it's awesome and funny.
Yeah, it's really good gameplay, really good story, really good voice acting. There's her boyfriend that gets decapitated, but his head lives, and then she like straps him onto her hip for the rest of the game, and he like talks, and he's super funny and stuff. His name's Nick. So
There's one scene I specifically remember from this game that to this day makes me laugh. And it's because the boyfriend always just has like side commentary while you're playing. He just kind of
Yeah.
talks while you're walking around and looting stuff. And one time she was like, "Hey, what's your favorite color?" And he was like, "Blue. No red. No blue. No red. No, it's blue for sure." And then like 5 minutes pass and you've played through more of the game and he goes, "I fucked up, it's yellow." It was like it was something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
you switch
No, I
the colors,
remember
but
that.
it was so good. I was like, who wrote this? Come
yeah,
on.
super clever.
Just
And then
such a funny game.
yeah, you chop you chainsaw their heads off, like rainbows fly out and shit. Like it shouldn't be
Nice.
as fun as it is, I guess,
Such
because
a
it seems
goofy
so
game.
corny, but it all works. So it's interesting that they chose to bring that back instead of, I don't know, making another one. I'm okay with that though.
Yeah, I
And
am too.
So,
Fantastic.
Lollipop Chainsaw, that's 2023, so not super soon, and that can mean a lot of different months and days of the year when that's going to come out. But yeah, super stoked for that one. Another one that is super soon is Stray. This one is coming July 19th. This one, man, it's Tuesday. So yeah, maybe a day after we publish this, that'll be out. So Stray is the game close to me because I love cats. So you play as a cat, and everything we've seen, and now some people have been hands-on with demo and stuff, is that it's totally legit game. Because at first I was like, man, this could just be a gimmicky
Yeah.
type of thing, whatever.
No, it seemed like the first trailer I saw of gameplay, it seemed like the mechanics were really fascinating.
Yeah, and really
Yeah.
immersive.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
some
I saw
different
him
kinds of
climb
things.
out the window, go on a ledge, and like up a dumpster, and I was like, "This cat,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
so clever."
It does look like there's going to be some combat stuff. We'll see how that plays out, getting a little like laser headset or whatever you've got.
Yeah.
But a
The
lot of it
environment too looks really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's in like Hong Kong nightlife, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like all the
dark, dreary,
neon
wet.
signs in the rain. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, they're playing into that alley cat type of thing.
Yes.
And it looks like a lot
Can
of
you-
survival stuff.
Is it just one cat you play as, or do you get to customize your cat?
Looks like one from what we've seen. So there's some platforming, survival stuff, and it does look like you can communicate with some humans or robots. So it's got to be some kind of futuristic a little bit.
Okay.
I've tried to stay away from most of it.
Me too.
But yeah, that's going to be July 19th. And if you have PlayStation Plus Extra or PlayStation Plus Premium, that is going to be free for everyone on day one. So that includes me. And that's what I'll be doing next week.
Jordan Bartholomew Cat.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because I'm sure there's going to be meows and cat noises.
Yeah.
And Jordan my cat definitely picks up on that stuff when it's like on the TV or something. So we'll see how that gameplay works out. But super excited for that. Yeah, and that's next week. So awesome. So hopefully you guys go out and play that. I know other people are definitely excited for it. Just new, different type of thing. And playing as a cat. I don't know if has there been a game where you play as a cat?
I mean,
For all of
like
it?
Sly, raccoon,
Yeah.
close.
He's like
But-
taking human form though, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's
Yeah, you're definitely
Hello Kitty Adventures.
or like
There is a game called Tokyo Jungle. Have you guys heard of that? It's like a survival. You play as all kinds of
sounds
different animals.
familiar.
No.
Yeah. Me and my buddy Drew, that's one of our favorite OG, just weird ass, Japanese weird games. Look that up, Tokyo Jungle. Okay, so let's go through Zack, one of your jams. I know there's not a ton of info out on it yet, but Lord of the Rings Gollum. I know a lot of people are excited for
Ooh,
that.
Yes.
Gollum is the playable character. It's coming from a studio called Nacon that's actually doing a lot of stuff. So what can you tell us about Lord of the Rings? Are you excited for this one?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I don't have high hopes for it just because I don't want to be disappointed, but it does look really good. I wish I had a little more info, but from the gameplay I've seen, it's cool because you get to experience a little bit of the Gollum story that they just summarize in the movies, so they know that Gollum got tortured. Just
So is
behind
this
the
a
ring.
prequel adventure? Do we know that?
I believe,
it's got to be, right?
I believe it's going on. Basically, it starts in the Fellowship or just before the Fellowship. So after he escapes Mordor after being tortured, and it's kind of all that journey.
And it looks like it's got to be more of a survival type of game. 'Cause
Yeah,
what
that's
is
what it seems
Gollum's not slashing swords at people, is he?
No, he just attacks things with his hands if he gets too violent. But he's small and frail, so he's probably hiding from a lot of orcs.
I want all the data entry from his voice actor. Like, I just want all of those files of him grunting and saying weird things in his weird voice.
What is it?
I don't even want to play the game. I
Randy
There's probably so much that didn't make it into the films too.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I'm really excited to see a lot of the movement of Gollum because he's able to like climb the rocks and I mean he falls down a chasm and comes back. So I'm assuming he'll be
Maybe some Breath of the Wild. You can scale stuff.
like relatively supernatural with like the strength just because the ring corrupted him. So he's a creature now, but it'll be really fun to see those mechanics.
Yeah, I'm interested in see where they go from there. You put Lord of the Rings name on anything, the expectations are always high.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see how that one goes.
And everyone just keeps wanting another Battle for Middle Earth, and they don't do it. So
Maybe someday.
maybe someday.
They want the cash.
right.
So Lord of the Rings, that one's soon too. That one's September 1st. Yep. We've talked a little bit about Overwatch 2. That one is slated for October 4th. I know they're integrate, like there's not going to be an original Overwatch anymore. Like they're combining those two things and putting them together. So you can't play the original Overwatch anymore. I know us personally are kind of skeptical on this one.
Yeah.
I'll play it though, probably right out of the gate, to be honest. I did not vote for it on the poll we put up, but
I'm in
the
same
years that I played that game, man, like 3 solid years.
boat. We played a lot of Overwatch.
Yeah, we put a lot of hours into that game.
So it's almost finally ready. I know a lot of people we might even be in beta test on that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure we are.
My coworker has the beta right now.
Nice.
They've pretty much brought over almost every character, but reworked a few of them. I don't remember which ones.
And some new characters.
Yeah, there's 2 new ones for sure at launch, and then obviously there'll be a lot more as they go.
Yeah. I need to research it more. I know there's like a female version of Junkrat.
Oh.
Junker Queen.
Junker
Nice.
Queen. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure people in the competitive space will be playing the hell out of that. And me.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's hard for me to say I'm super excited, but I had so much fun with the first one.
The first one was so fun.
Yeah.
And then I put it down. I put the first one down, and I was like, okay, I'm done with Blizzard for reasons. And I feel like this game, I'm gonna be like, nope, not touching it. And people are gonna be like pressuring me in the good way to play it, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna give in because the first one was just so fun.
It was so good and so balanced and such a fun game to play with your friends.
Yeah.
be on the voice chat and do all
Yeah.
that stuff.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was really easy to be casual or competitive or hybrid.
Yeah.
Like there was obviously different game modes for that, but also
There's something for everyone in those
Yeah.
games.
it just didn't have the same kind of pressure that a lot of the competitive shooters have.
Yeah.
right.
It's more
Yeah,
about
it's like-
teamwork. So we'll find out October 4th. Dead Space. I'm super pumped for this one.
Same.
January 27th, full on Dead Space remake. We touched on this with the episode with Michaela, how they use the integrated HUD. There's no HUD.
Yeah.
So how excited are we for Dead Space?
Extremely. I love
Extremely.
these games. And the first one was so different. Everything about it, the gameplay, everything. The gameplay, the plot, the character, just everything about it was just so different and fun and spooky.
Spooky. I was going to say spooky.
It was spooky. And
Hashtag spooky.
I watched some gameplay of the remake today, like they just kind of released a small part of it. And they're really reworking the 0G aspects of it. And it looks pretty cool what they're doing. It's just like much more maneuverable and just fun and spooky. It just looks good.
Yeah, there's something scary about space and the unknown and dark corners, and it cashes in on all of that.
Yeah. Those creatures, they get you. They're freaky looking. They're freaky looking. And they play dead, too. They do
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll get you.
You're like, what is this? I'm slowly approaching.
Yeah. They said they're adding a lot more like mist and fog aspects, so it's like harder to see them too. So there's gonna be a lot more of that.
Nice.
More spooky.
Yeah.
Layer on the spooky.
Yeah, the tech's better now.
I wonder how the first one aged because I played it so long ago.
I've heard it's
Yeah.
aged horribly.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Otherwise, I would have played it.
And
already,
the
probably.
sequels are probably underrated,
I played the second one,
but they're
I
doing the
liked
right
it.
thing with remaking the first one.
Yeah.
So Dead Space, and that one's not soon. January 27th.
Nice.
We'll keep with the spooky. Resident Evil 4 is next year, also March 24th. We excited for that one? You Resident Evil people?
I'm not.
Yeah.
Not because I dislike them. I just never played them.
Resident Evil 4 is the one to remake, though, because, well, a lot of people want Code Veronica remade, too, including myself. But Resident Evil 4, probably the most accessible and popular of the series. A lot of third person. I mean, you still deal with ammo, and there's still the find this to access this and figure that out on your own that Resident Evil's so popular for. So I see why they're remaking that one. One, for the money, but two, because it's the most popular and people will definitely buy that. But also, it's one of the best games. It's going to be a popular one, though, for sure. So, that one's Q1 next year, March 24th. I don't think that one will get pushed. Keeping with the spooky, Alan Wake 2. Woo! Remedy does nothing but make awesome games. Alan Wake, Control. So Alan Wake 2, this one also doesn't have a solid date. It has a 2023 date. So what do you think?
I'm so excited. This another really creative spooky game.
Yep.
I love it. Like, oh man, that first game, it got me. It was creepy and spooky, and every aspect of the game was like you had your flashlight and that was your weapon, and that was so creative. And when you were in the light, you were safe, and that's really how life at night feels.
Right? Yeah,
Like,
they
it
play
really-
into that for
yeah,
sure.
like they know, and like they play into like the am I safe here? Are there people there? Am I going somewhere dangerous? Is there something behind me? Dude on the radio is like freaking out. I'm freaking out. We're all freaking out. Like I'm trying to write a book and I'm haunted as fuck. Like it's just awesome. And I want to know where they're going with the second game because Jesus Christ.
Man, I played it like almost at launch on 360 in 2005 or wherever the hell it was. And I can't remember how the first game ended. Not that we should say that, but do you remember how the first game ended?
I think they left it very open. I can't remember either, but I feel like it was kind of some like an interpretive, like take it how you want kind of an ending.
Okay, I'm all right with that. I was just thinking how they're catapulting.
me.
Yeah, I was wondering how they're catapulting into the second one.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I'll have to look it up. But there's a little Alan Wake
refresher.
Easter egg in Quantum Break if you played that.
I haven't played that one actually.
Quantum
What's
Break
the
is
Easter egg?
fantastic.
Yeah, it's got the
Well,
live acting in it or whatever.
The Easter egg in Quantum Break. Quantum Break is a great game, by the way, ahead of its time, I think. And even though it's a Xbox One game, but there's an Easter egg. One of the things that happens a lot is because you're fucking with time and quantum physics is that time will stop, but you'll still be going. And there's a point in the game where everything is frozen and you can walk through these like offices and someone is playing Alan Wake on their computer.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
it's really cute.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was like,
I love,
look
I love
at
it when
this.
games do that.
And like they in like really slow motion, like they'll like talk or whatever, like the characters, and they were like talking about the game, and I was like, I love this. This is cute.
Nice. So Alan Wake 2, that's gonna be awesome. Sometime in 2023. Hopefully,
Spooky. We love the spooky.
hopefully the front half. Spook it up. Diablo 4, also 2023. Anybody care?
Little bit.
I do.
A little bit.
I like to loot things.
Yeah.
That's what that game is.
I have the little loot goblin from the
Yeah.
last one, Diablo 3.
Nice.
A little
Yeah.
red
Aw,
bow.
cute.
Yeah.
I've only ever played Diablo 3 super drunk, so I don't have a lot to say.
Well, it's a good game to play drunk.
Yeah. Top down, just kind of swing around and
Yeah.
Crush things
pick up
and
stuff
get
that's
money.
higher rated than the stuff you're carrying.
Yeah.
23 is higher than 20. I'll take this. Yeah. Well, a lot of people are excited for that one. That one's coming from Blizzard 2023. They only release a Diablo game like once every 15 years, so that's a big deal to a lot of people. Goat Simulator 3. I don't even know why I put that on the list.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a second one.
I didn't
actually.
either. I've only ever seen gameplay. Like, I've watched streamers play the first one. I never played it. What a chaotic ass game, first of all. Awesome.
It's like all physics
Yeah.
ragdoll shit.
It's just nuts. But somehow I'm excited for this, even though I don't even think I'll play it. But I'm also excited for it.
You
but
take
there'll be
the
some-
what's the other one that's like the goose one? Goose.
Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah, you take a
Untitled
second.
Duck Game.
You'd probably take a second one of
Goose.
those. One of those before a Goat Simulator.
Yeah,
wouldn't
for sure.
Kind
oh,
of the same thing.
please. Oh, yeah. That made me so happy.
you? Should we talk about Hogwarts Legacy?
Okay.
This one. So this is coming from Warner Brothers. They don't make bad games either. Batman games, Lego games. They make Lego games. Not that this is a Lego game, but how excited are we? I'm not a huge Harry Potter person. Sorry, but there are tons of
12
people
wands.
stoked, and it looks polished and cool.
It
and
looks
like
awesome.
full on RPG, and I will play it. So
yeah. I'll be
what do we
playing
think?
it.
Yeah. I don't want to admit this, but I will probably lose a week to this game.
Yeah, me and
Just one?
one of my coworkers are like trying to take off of work
At
for
once.
it. Like
Okay.
we're
So it's that level of excitement.
well, I've been like begging the universe to give me a Telltale Harry Potter game because I just wanted a choice-based Harry Potter game for so long, and I feel like this is better. It's just better. It's gonna be good.
It's going to be.
It's like so open world, and I haven't seen much from it, but it just seems like everything is better.
But I can't wait to run under the Whomping Willow. It's like
You're
a
gonna get
big
the shit
tree.
kicked out of you.
I was gonna say I'll probably die by it.
Yeah,
See
what
how
are we
that
what are
goes.
we all hoping to see from this game, really?
Dementors.
Dementors?
The Forbidden Forest and Wizard's Chest.
What are they going to grow up through the game? You think? Like, what chapters are we seeing here? Like, do we know any of that?
It plays off someone's 7th year, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen much on this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're in your 7th year of Hogwarts, which is basically like your graduating year. So it's enough to be at like the apex of your skills. So you have
Interesting
a
that
lot
they want to
of-
start there. Okay.
Well, they didn't want you to have like rudimentary spells available to you. They want to be like a really in-depth game. And if you're in your first year, like you're a freshman student, you
Yeah,
don't know anything.
it would have been too big of a game maybe to have such an open world game and play through 7 years before.
Exactly.
I mean, it would take like at least 4 before you get decent.
And
or
I-
you could save
skills.
some for sequels.
exactly,
obviously.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like previous years like that, or I think they want to expand that into a lot of stuff besides Hogwarts, but still in the wizarding world. So they want you to kind of be ready for a lot.
Well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Words.
Yes. Yeah, so that's a huge one. December 2022 is the only window I could find on that one. That seems vague, just to peg a month when you're only half a year out. But we'll see, and that game will sell like hell too.
Could be a Christmas release.
Yep. Let's see. We can fly through a couple of these. Life is Strange Remastered Collection. I didn't know that existed until I was doing research a couple days ago. Did you know that was a thing?
Think so? I think so. I feel like I read it somewhere and was kind of like,
It might not be something you need because
Yeah.
you've already done it all. But
Yeah.
for people who haven't played that series, and it's awesome, you've heard Alyssa talk about it, so that'll be coming. And I feel like that, it says remaster. I don't know what you remaster about it. I guess you can make it look a little better.
hopefully it can run a little cleaner because there was some glitchiness in like the original.
Yeah.
I mean, for me anyway, I don't know, but and like just a little choppy. Some of the scenes were a little choppy. Yeah. I think it'll be a lot of like running smoother, smoothing out some graphics, maybe brightening the colors. I don't know.
Yeah, frame rate type stuff for the most part. I think it's going to be, and just a place for people to revisit the whole thing all in one package.
Yeah.
I also don't have a price, but those games were never that expensive, so I'm sure it'll be affordable.
Yeah,
probably 40.
We've talked about Breath of the Wild 2 at length. Obviously, everybody's on the top of most people's list. That'll be out in 2023 sometime. Yes. Street Fighter 6, I'm excited for. That's 2023. I'm a big Sonic fan. This Frontiers game, I don't know what to think about it really, because it's got this like open world feel, and it's a Sonic game.
I did see some stuff on it. Interesting, yeah.
But some of it looks barren. That's definitely a wait and see. That one's holiday of this year. Splatoon 3. I know there's a dedicated fan base that plays those. I'm not one of those people.
Same.
That'll be September 9th. Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. That is from Rocksteady, who made the Batman games. That's early 2023. I think that'll be really good. Really good combo-based combat and stuff like that. Let's see what else we got. Skate. Yeah, Skate. Man, I just saw something on that today. You want to explain what the news that broke on Skate?
Yeah, so the 4th installment, officially called Skate, just because. I think they just wanted to
not Skate 4, Skate.
Right. I think they wanted to signify their refresh as a brand. But controversy, it's free to play. Some people love it, some people hate it.
I'm okay with it.
Nice. I'm really excited for it. It's just going to make that multiplayer aspect easier. A lot of the people who are looking forward to this Skate game want to just skate around and possibly do it with their friends. Most of the people that are excited for this game aren't looking for, the next Tony Hawk Pro Skate. They're just looking for
more of an
open skate.
Casual, like sessions.
Yeah.
And that's even still popular with Tony Hawk. People just want to skate around and do sessions.
Exactly. But it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like a lot of the Tony Hawk games in recent years, they've gotten better and better with their physics, but it's also made it geared towards like competitive skating or do all these tricks.
And it's more of an arcade experience, where Skate was more of a raw, like it was all on the analog sticks.
Yeah.
You almost learned how to do tricks, and you can see how those would translate over into real life. And also, Skate games are huge for character customization. Throw that out there, because they always get all the sponsors, Vans and all, Nike and everything. So that was always making your skater look unique, was always really popular.
Right.
So Skate.
They did add that.
Yeah, super popular franchise that hasn't been around for a while. So that'll be coming back. Alyssa's stoked.
Yeah, super pumped.
You a skater, bro?
I'll stick to Skatebird.
Just Skatebird for her.
Thank you.
Arc 2.
Yes.
You love that. Let's quickly cover that. That one's coming in 2023. Another game that I'd describe as like a cult following type of game.
Yeah.
Totally. Very survival. It's like Minecraft, but awesome graphics
brutal.
And dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's dinosaurs. But you could also, I guess, explain this to me. Like, you exist like on your own servers, right? Kind of thing. And you could not be playing and log off, and somebody could like come up to your compound or whatever you built and like horrible. Destroy it and steal all your shit.
Yeah, there's player versus player servers and player versus environment. So the PvE, you only have to worry about the dinos and creatures. And then PvP is anything goes.
I don't know why anyone does PvP. I mean, Zack, you would play and you would be like, okay, I have found a base that they cannot, like, other players will not find it and destroy it. And he would like show me you'd have to like climb a mountain and then like slide down like into the rocks and then swim under a river and then like climb a tree. Like, you had to do all this crazy shit to get to his base, and he'd be like, nobody's gonna find this. And then he'd go to bed and wake up in the morning, and I would just hear him yelling out in the living room. And sure enough, gone every time.
It's the worst after a taming night too, because like you can control the dinosaurs and creatures and even like make them attack other people and make them, like go on defense patrols by your area or ride them even.
But
what are you hoping to get out of the sequel?
Story. Especially with
There's
them
some
bringing
story
someone
in the
like
first
Vin Diesel
one,
in.
right?
Yeah, it's very
like
Subnautica. We've mentioned that before.
Yeah,
talked about it a little bit.
Story.
Yeah, you have to find the story. They tell you things that happen or events will kick, and if you pay attention to them or read the lore, you can kind of realize like, oh, do that. So in Ark, there's bosses that you can spawn in at the pillars. And that's why all the stuff is in their arm. In the trailer, you see that weird diamond in the skeleton bone. So that's how you progress the story. But it's also really hard, and it's almost like raid bosses. So I would like to see some more single player story progression.
Right.
Some hidden things that you can unlock by yourself.
Probably some new materials and new, they'll add all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
New locations.
Yeah.
So Arc 2, you're stoked for, and a lot of people are. 2023, we also don't have a date on that yet. All right, let's close out this segment with Starfield. I don't super care. I do love Bethesda, so I'll definitely play this. What we've seen so far, the mainstream thing to say is that it looks like No Man's Sky, and it totally does. But the way Bethesda can flesh out a story, the way you interact with the characters, going down these side paths and clans and tribes, and you're going to run into all of this stuff. So I know that stuff is going to be there. I'm not a big sci-fi person. That turns me off a little bit. But Bethesda, the track record with Skyrim, Fallout, I'm in on all of that stuff.
This is the one you're excited for, right?
Yeah, this is probably one of the most hyped games, that's been announced so far.
Yeah.
So what do we think of Starfield?
Yeah. I've realized recently that I am a sci-fi buff.
Yeah.
Just fucking love outer space.
It's not that I don't love outer space. It's the space politics.
A little
gets me.
daunting, to be honest. Gives
Right.
me anxiety, but
It's like the open ocean. It's just like, this is cool. Like, what's down there? What's
anything
out
could eat
there?
me. Yes.
Yeah. So the fluidity No Man's Sky brought, I was really like, whoa, this is cool. So the fact that my favorite company, Bethesda, is doing something similar really excites me.
And we're supposed to see that first half of 2023.
Yeah.
I think it was originally supposed to be this holiday. and
I
then
thought so
Then
too,
it got
yep.
pushed back. Alyssa, do you play any Bethesda stuff?
Well, I tried playing Skyrim like 15 times, and I
Dishonored.
keep turning into a vampire, and I keep fucking it up, man. I don't know. And I keep getting so sidetracked, and I'm under leveled. It's just too much for me. It's too much.
It is a lot.
Great game, too much for me. Open world games are hard on me.
Unless it's Breath of the Wild.
Well, that's different. It's different.
Is it?
No, it's not at all.
It's not.
It's the same
It's
concept,
different
folks.
to me.
Yeah, just walk the entire map. If that's what you're into.
I found all like 900 Korok seeds or whatever.
Did you get the golden poop?
I
Is that what they
did.
call it?
Yeah.
What do you do with it?
Nothing.
You just have it.
He just gives it to you. He's like, here you go, golden shit for you.
Ta-da.
I feel like that.
Made
I
it
feel like
just
it's
for you.
commentary on the fact that I spent all that time looking for the Koroks. The developers were like, just so you know, you're a piece of shit, but you're a golden one.
Okay, I get it. I never really thought of it that way.
Exactly.
So let's take one last break, and then we're going to come back and revisit the poll that we put in the Facebook group on what you guys are most excited for, and then we are going to tell you our very top games that we're excited for, and we'll close it out with that. We'll be right back.
You are listening to Micah and Alyssa on Birds and Swords. Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and smash that like button.
All right, welcome back. It's been a long night. Let's finish this shit up. So we're still excited about games coming out. I'd like to say we discussed this a little bit off air. Are games different in their announcements? As in us getting excited, they announce it way further out than like, say, a movie or a TV show? Because it definitely seems that way. There's definitely more delays and stuff like that. But is the excitement different because of the way they announce things?
Yeah, for me, I think it's typically in the gaming community, they've been announcing things too early, and I get really hyped up, and then I almost forget about it.
Yeah.
And it's
Same.
like almost like, oh, that comes out next month. Wow, I feel like I haven't heard about it in years. I feel like they're like, oh, we have this really awesome game, and it's coming out in 5 years.
Yeah. It's
No.
like, why?
I think it's like the production cost, because you have to pay all the devs for so long before the game comes out. So I think they need that little bit of boost to get that marketing out, so people keep talking about it and they can pull funding easier.
Yeah, maybe
Because
they're testing the waters to see interest so that
'Cause-
they can figure out their funding for the rest of the
Yeah.
project. I don't know.
Yeah, and it might pass through more hands too. Well,
Yeah.
it's hard to say with movies. There's a lot that goes into movies too, I guess. But the development stage, the publish phase, all that
Yeah.
post-production, I guess that's similar to movies. It's just different. The hype's different. The timeline's different.
And I feel like
And unless it's something you really care about, like Final Fantasy Rebirth, like we know that's this winter.
Yeah.
That's on my calendar. But like you said, if it's something, even some of this 2023 stuff, I'm going to forget about until
Yeah.
it gets, whatever quarter that it's released in, then I'll get excited again. I don't know. People also pre-order games. That's still a thing. You don't really pre-order movies.
Exactly.
Maybe they're trying to get some buy-in way ahead of time.
I feel like it just creates more pressure for the development team. Like they're like, okay,
Yeah.
everybody knows about it now, so let's
agree.
freaking grind. And then when it gets delayed, the development team probably feels like shit.
So I put up a poll in the Facebook group, and I asked everybody what their favorite or their upcoming games they're most excited for. Dude, there's like 23 games on here. We had some write-ins. So which one do you guys think got the most votes?
Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2. Now, man, I can't tell how many votes. It's giving me percentages of votes. So Breath of the Wild 2 was at the top at 10%. Also at the top at 10% was a game that I forgot to even put in. It was written in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
Zach, you're pumped for that one?
Absolutely. It's going to have multiplayer. That's huge.
And it plays like a normal Pokemon game, but multiplayer?
Yeah, so basically what they did with Legends Arceus and Sword and Shield, they're trying to find a good gameplay that fits an open world style with their
It's kind of like a
turn-based
common
Pokemon.
ground between the... Okay.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people were disappointed in Arceus because it was rather empty, quote unquote, but I was fully aware that it was their first open world attempt and it was still pretty in-depth and it was a completely different game. Like it wasn't like a Scarlet Violet where they have their dual versions and it's your classic be the best trainer. It was almost like a background history, like this is old school Pokemon. So it was a very good starting ground to what I think Scarlet and Violet will do really well.
Are you going to buy both? Or are you a one copy, one version kind of guy?
I bought both for Sword and Shield. Alyssa didn't touch Shield. So
Yeah, he bought me Shield, but I never played it.
Okay. I get it.
It's so... I love the Pokemon games. It's just hard for me to get invested in them when I have so many other games to play.
Yeah.
They are kind of samey, but what I will say about the
Very
Pokemon
samey.
fan base is even the quote bad games are still good. Like the fan base will still play them.
Yeah.
Will
Right.
still collect the 300 whatever
Like
is in that game.
Yeah.
Pokemon is for everyone. It doesn't matter what age you are or like who you are. It's for everyone. But you can definitely feel what games are meant for what age group sometimes.
And I think this one is going to have the first, like, best mold of both because Arceus was a little complex for the younger audience. And it was a lot, like I said before, a lot of history that the older generation would appreciate. Not that the younger won't, but they'll just be like, cool, this is Pokemon. A lot of the older generation will be
there's
like, yeah, I know this.
Yeah, some fan service.
Yeah.
And like Pokemon Snap, I feel like is geared for the younger generations, but I rage quit that game. So
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I couldn't get him to.
I mean,
Exactly.
literally.
Yeah. That flower one.
Or you get pissed at Professor Oak. Is that his name?
Willow.
Willow.
It's
Yeah,
Willow,
whatever.
I think.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
think in the
no,
first
that
one it
was a perfect rated
yeah,
photo,
I
you
literally
dick.
got it. I literally got it.
One time I heard Alyssa like, I know I'm supposed to throw the apple at him right when he turns, and then he does the thing, but I throw the apple at that time, and he's not doing the thing.
Yeah,
That's bullshit.
I can't believe I rage quit Pokemon Snap. It's ridiculous.
But like most younger kids wouldn't even care about the challenges, and they'll just like, cool, I got my Bulbasaur going on.
At first, it was so cute. I was like, "Oh, look at this little Torchic," and I'm like, "Dance!"
Yeah, dance. Yeah. All right. Do we have Pokemon Scarlet Violet? Do we have a date for that? November. Something. Usually, Pokemon games launch the Friday before Black Friday.
Yes.
So
exactly.
whatever date that is.
Yeah, Friday before
I
Thanksgiving,
also
right?
want and I've always said this, I want an M-rated Pokemon game. I don't want them to
Yes.
faint. I want them to
Yeah.
die.
It would be
Yeah.
like survival Pokemon.
Yeah, some decapitation. Some just really
Especially
brutal.
when it's like a freaking Dragonite.
PETA would be
versus-
all over that shit
would
so
be.
fast. They had like not like death, but like you could go to the cemetery and it
No,
was
I
like,
want fatalities. I want to finish
I want
him.
fatalities.
I
I want
Lavender
Totodile's
Town.
spine ripped out of his body.
Yeah, you don't get to put him back in your ball. He's fucking dead.
He's
that's
dead.
That's what I want.
He's
Other
dead.
Pokemon crushes the ball.
I want blood and gore.
All right, so yeah, get us a date on that. I think it's November or something. Breath of the Wild, Pokemon at 10%.
18th. I was gonna
Hogwarts,
say
November 18th.
yeah.
There you go. Hogwarts Legacy is also tied for the lead at 10%, and then God of War right behind it.
You said Saints Row was up top? What?
We didn't talk about Saints.
I'm the only
We
one
didn't
who
talk about
cares.
Saints
Moving
Row.
on.
It had 2%. You and Mark Hamlin voted for it.
I
So
had
you guys
someone
are
else.
excited.
Let's
I can't
go.
say I'm not excited. I'm skeptical about that one too because I only like 2 of the 5 Saints Row's games.
It's an
Saints
attempt
Row.
at a reboot. I don't think it's gonna.
No, it's not. It's a new game. It's a brand new game.
I'm saying like an attempt of a reboot.
Going
for
back
the
to its
series.
roots.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
The
see, I
company,
see,
they
I
haven't
see.
done much. Yeah,
Because they went like superhero and craziness, and that's when the series kind of
Yeah.
fell off. So I think they're kind of going back to that.
Gat from Hell. That was okay.
So God of War, and then man, it really drops off to kind of an even playing field. Dead Space, Alan Wake at 5%. Final Fantasy was lower than I thought it was.
Where was
I mean,
Gotham Knights on that list?
Gotham Knights 2%. I think you had a vote on that. I just accidentally voted for it. Yeah, you and Phil. So. Yeah, but some good feedback there. Everything got a vote except for Overwatch 2 and Sonic Frontiers.
Way to go,
Everything
Blizzard.
else got a vote of the 27 that we listed. So good feedback. Thanks for doing that. That was fun. We'll continue to kind of see the votes come in before I close that poll. All right, so to finish up, so what are a couple of your absolute most anticipated, can't hold back your excitement for games? Zach, why don't you go first?
All right. Arc 2.
Is that your number one?
Man, yeah. I mean, Starfield is battling for number 1, but like I said before, my username for stuff is Elder Scroll Freak, so I feel like if I was really, really excited for a Bethesda game, it'd have to be Elder Scrolls.
How old were you when you made that gamer tag? Are you still an Elder Scrolls
15.
freak?
Yes.
Elder Scrolls freak.
Yes. I need to go back and play Morrowind on my current profile, but I have 100% on Oblivion and Skyrim.
So you think that love translates into Starfield being...
Yeah. But I lost days and nights to Arc. I mean, we ran a server. We sold things for real life money in
Yeah,
Arc.
you were telling me that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nuts. Made profit off of...
Yeah.
So who'd you play that game with?
I actually
Shout outs.
Parker. Played a lot with him, my friend Jonathan, my cousin Noah sometimes. But I actually randomly met one of my friends that I drove out to California to visit playing Arc.
That's actually pretty cool because there's been some real friendships over the years with a
Yeah.
lot of people that they met online playing games.
Right. Yeah.
And there's one of them.
It's pretty sweet.
All right, so Starfield. What else?
Ooh, Pokemon.
Starfield and Pokemon.
Yeah. Apex is having a cool update release, but it's just a new season thing. It's anime related for those of you that like anime. Revenant looks like a mech. Octane has a One Piece skin. That's pretty cool, but Pokemon.
Okay. And at least those are staggered releases because you almost ran into a huge problem there. Because if Starfield launched when it was supposed to, 11/11, like Bethesda likes to do,
I love
You-
that. That's
you
what
would have been
Skyrim
screwed.
Did. It's National Metal Day too, for those of you that didn't know. So Bethesda
Today?
really no 11/11.
oh, really?
Yeah. So
I did
when
not know that. I love
Skyrim
metal.
launched. Yeah. When Skyrim launched, they had like the epic music, and then
That was 11/11/11, though.
yeah, exactly.
All ones.
And then like VH1 or whatever was doing their whole celebration. I was like, this is a good time to be alive.
All right, Starfield and Pokemon. All right,
Yeah.
what about you, Alyssa?
Most excited for, obviously, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Knew it.
Second up is the remake of Crisis Core.
So all Final Fantasy for you?
Yeah.
All right.
Followed behind, or next is going to be Breath of the Wild 2. Super pumped for that. Then Alan Wake 2. Then God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, how did I not
Are you
say
just,
that?
Are you just going to list every game? that's
Every
coming
game I'm
out
excited
in
for. This is the
order?
order that I'm excited for.
how much you're
Yeah,
excited?
these are my tops, all of them. And then the Hogwarts game I'm very excited for too. But that's at the bottom of this list.
Okay.
Still very excited. But it's at the bottom.
Let the people know.
Let the
It's
people
down
know.
there.
It's down there. It's at the bottom.
And I think you've got some staggered releases too. And I was thinking about this when we came up with this as a topic because you typically don't play games upon their release.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you do.
That's
I
an
guess,
understatement.
Yeah. I think.
Do you think any of
Jordan!
these?
Okay, he ran off.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Jordan.
he's 13 years old in one day now.
Love him.
Too late. Do you think any of these you're going to play on day one?
I don't know about day one, but I think I will get pretty close with Final Fantasy Rebirth and Crisis Core. And probably that's it. I want to say Breath of the Wild 2, but even the first Breath of the Wild I played like 3 years late, so...
Yeah, she's notorious for that. I need to stop buying her games because I'll get really excited to get her a game she looks forward to. Get her it full price, still in the wrapper. It'll drop to like $30 and she'll finally unseal it. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I could have just
So
returned
many
it, bought it
games.
later.
So why do you think you wait? Especially if you're as excited. Because I feel like your whole list are can't wait to play Alyssa games.
Yeah.
So why would you? Is it
I
money
just
related?
No, I mean it's not that I have money, but I guess it's just that I'm playing games and I'm so busy that I don't finish them as quickly as I'd like, and all these other games come out and they just end up on the roster, and then the ones that are next on the list I go to, but that list just keeps piling up because I just don't have time to play through them, and I play such a wide range of games, just so many different genres that I'm excited for so many games, and I just don't have the time. If I had one superpower, it would be to stop time so I could sleep while time is stopped, and so I could play video games and do art. Anything else time can move forward for, but just don't got the time.
But Final Fantasy would be at the top of the list.
I feel like, yeah, and because the first remake was not that long, it was only like 50 hours. It didn't, compared to usually a Final Fantasy game, I put like 100 to 200 hours in typically.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'll be able to set aside the time for Rebirth, assuming that it's around the same length. Breath of the Wild 2 is, I feel like I'm going to have to quit my job to play it.
That was
really.
a time vampire there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to like stop taking commissions, quit my job, not go outside, and just play it.
Hope for another COVID.
Right, please. No, I'm just kidding.
Redent the couch.
redent the couch.
So for me, my number one would be God of War, easily. That's going to be a day one. A lot of these will be day one for me. God of War is number one. Like I said earlier, I am really, really, really excited to play Stray. I get to play that next week.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll be on top of that right away.
Nice.
We still have the Twitch channel. Maybe I'll stream that.
Ooh.
Should.
Stay tuned. God of War, Stray. I'm with you on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Loved the first one. And I was one of those, I've only played Final Fantasy VII, like the original once, and it had been a long time, so it was like
Same.
an awesome refresher for me when I got to play the remake. So I'm super excited for Rebirth because I really, really did love revisiting that and all the new ways that you could play it more as an action game. So I'll play that right away. Lollipop Chainsaw, I will also play that day one, and Breath of the Wild 2, I'm on board with everybody else with that one, absolutely. So,
Nice.
yeah, those are my tops.
I like your top.
I don't know how I missed God of War, but scratch whatever I said.
Dad of
Number one.
boy.
Dad
Yes.
boy.
Man, it's going to be so good.
Yeah. I have very high expectations for this game.
Yeah, and they'll deliver.
Yeah.
Is the
I have
thing with
no,
that.
I'm not worried at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if the gameplay is just like the last one, that's fine.
Yeah, and it probably will be.
Yeah.
Or similar. But
But I don't know, because every time I play a God of War game, they just take it to the next level that I couldn't have even imagined.
yeah.
So I don't know.
But tons to be excited for. This is almost as exciting a time of year as when the games actually come out, it feels
Yeah.
like, is in the summer when they announce all these things that we've been craving or stuff that we didn't even know about yet. So tons of stuff to be excited for. I can't wait. I haven't really been playing much lately, and I feel like it's going to be a bottleneck, and it's all just going to come out at once, and that's all I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Of course, that's what I do more in winter.
Yeah,
anyway.
I was just going to say, that's why I like the winter releases, because I'm inside anyway, so
Yeah.
give me the video games.
All right, so look out for all these games coming soon. Let us know what you guys are excited for. Zach, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Let's tribe up if you play Arc 2. I need
Yeah.
new friends for that game.
Woo!
Yep. What's your gamer tag on Xbox? Isn't that what you're going to play it on?
Yeah, but I'm probably going to change it to Elder Scroll Freak pretty soon here.
Okay.
So yeah,
Or just
go with
message him.
Elder Scroll Freak.
Zach Cole. You can message him if you want to get in on some art.
Get in his DMs.
Slide into my DMs from the group.
Slide on in. Alyssa, your parting words?
Goodbye.
All right. Thanks for spending the time with us tonight. We will talk to you all soon.